Hello, welcome to this next episode. And in this episode, I wanted to talk to you about something that you need to check on regularly as a leader. I am all for giving leadership hints and tips and ways that you can up level. So, this is one that I shared in my Nursery Leadership Hub. So, I share daily hints and tips and tasks and things to try. And I thought, I need to tell everyone about this because it's something that you need to regularly do as the leader. And that is asking yourself. This is a check-in task to do. So an important and essential part of both the EYFS and the Ofsted framework is assessing how well your staff know their key children. How well do your staff know their key children? Because the emphasis now is on less paperwork. And in order to have less paperwork, what that now requires is a deeper staff knowledge and understanding of the children and where they're at. Okay. So, do you know how well they know their children? It's an important question because we need to be able to know everything about our key children. We need to know what they like, what they don't like, where they're up to, the experiences that they have. We need the context around the child. The contextual knowledge of our children is so important. So, how do you go and find that out? Simply go and talk to your team. Ask lots of questions about their key children. How many siblings do they have? Who lives in their house? Whereabouts do they live? What do mum and dad do? Are they working? How old are their siblings? What do they do at the weekends? Does anybody else look after them other than when they come into the nursery? Who looks after them when they're not in nursery? What do they enjoy doing in nursery? What are you currently focusing on with their learning? In what ways is their language developing at the moment? These questions testing how well your team know their key children. Because if we haven't got this context around the child, this deep knowledge and understanding, not just of the average child in that age range, but knowing the deep context around each of the individual children, and we need that. We need that for teaching and learning. We need that for identifying what their next needs are, what their individual needs are. We need it to be able to safeguard them appropriately. We need that contextual information. How can we safeguard confidently, appropriately, and at a high level if we don't have all the contextual information? Contextual safeguarding is very, very important. We can't do that if we don't know that information. If we don't know who is currently living in the household, it might make a difference to your safeguarding judgments. But like I say, it also might make a difference to what you choose to teach them. What are their next steps? What opportunities and experiences, think cultural capital, what opportunities and experiences are they already having or have already had? Knowing how many siblings that they have and whether they're older or younger makes a difference to how you care and support and teach that individual child. It absolutely does. So, as leaders, you are responsible for them knowing what they need to know about their children. And so you have to go out and test it. Because some people, some of our team think that they know everything, but they only know what they know or what they think they should know, or they think they know children, and actually, if you dig a little bit, they don't actually know that child. So it's very, very important. These questions that I've given you as some examples will probe your team's knowledge and understanding of their children. And it is exactly what an inspector would do. Not that we're doing it all for inspectors, but I'm saying this is the level that we need to be at as leaders in order to monitor, investigate, check. This is a checking task. Like I say, your team need to know the contextual information around their key children, who they are, how they live, who with, and where they live, what they like, what they experience, all of the things, so that they can teach, safeguard, care, and support their key children. So we've got to make sure that they know it. So think about this as doing this as a task. Like I say, this is a task that I've shared in my Nursery Leadership Hub. I think I shared it on Wednesday. And I give these quick tasks. And what you have to make sure you do is you take this task and you get that awareness of like, oh yeah, this is one of the things, because we have so many things to juggle and check as leaders. So many. That's the challenge of the job. That's the challenge of the role. This, that, keep on top of that. And I've just been talking in my academy. We had an Ofsted inspection last week, and I was giving the feedback from it in terms of it was a successful inspection. And what's so important through any experience, but especially an Ofsted experience, is what can we take from it? We can take all the good from it. We can take learning from it as well in any experience. So I was feeding back with that. And what I was talking about is we have like the leadership band, that you have the leadership here, and then we have staff, our team, and then we have children. And the problem is, one of the challenging aspects is this staff band and this children band is constantly moving. Constantly is like waves, because it's constantly changing and evolving. Staff come, staff go. We then have to reteach. We then have to start again. Children come, children go, children move, children transition. So it's always moving. And so we can't just deal with something and leave it and not revisit it. And so a lot of these tips and tasks and reminders and nudges that I give to leaders are to keep that, stopping this and keeping it more this, because that's what we want. So we've got to keep revisiting things. And so what this means then is, when you've got this task, go and do it. So the idea is, when I gave it to the hub on Wednesday, just go and do it today. It's like a 20-minute job. We often overthink jobs and think that they're going to be, we need a lot of time to do them. And then we'd start getting into overwhelm. Oh my God, I haven't got time to do stuff. And it's like, just go and test it for 10 minutes. Or while you're covering in a room, talk to the staff there. Ask them some probing questions about their key children. We can always find time to do these little tasks. And this is a huge part of our role, is that checking. And it's how we get that higher level, higher quality teaching, learning, care from our teams for our children. And that's what we want as leaders. That is definitely what we want. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you go and find. Let me know when you do this, because remember, we have to actually go and take the action. I've given you this task. Now go do. Now go and do it, because we need to make sure that we put these things into practice if we want to get the results, if we want to move and shift and make progress. So let me know how you get on with this one.